first year at the Power 5 level. This is his first year. They're 3-1. We can't sit here and act like it's all doomed, it's over with, they'll never win another game. That's not true. They played against an Oregon team that is better. There's a better football team. And you get your played well. You know, you were talking about the jealousy and the way people as coaches and how Deion got there. This is interesting you said that. I didn't want to interrupt you. I want you to let you finish. So I spoke to somebody in the coaching fraternity right after the game. And they know some people that coach at Oregon. And they was telling me, they said, man, I've never heard from another assistant coach of how much information was being given to that staff about, I'm being real with you, about game planning against Colorado so they can beat them. That everybody was stacked those picks. That's the reality. I ain't making this up. No. I ain't gonna disclose no names, but y'all know who I'm talking about if you watch it. So, you know.
Now, when he said those things right there, when Keyshawn brought that up, I actually can call a couple of these coaches. I still know a couple of coaches in the league. Actually, Nebraska's defensive coordinator, I could give him a call. Yeah, I should still have him in my phone. So I could give him, he was also the defensive coordinator at Syracuse. Yep. So this was quite interesting because we know who they talking about. Because if he knows what I know, that Colorado State football and Norvell and his Banks and Peyton, those guys, Patton, rather, his defensive crew was helping out Oregon with game planning. Yeah, I was told that the NCAA is kind of looking into that. Even though I don't think that anything is going to come of it, that's a concern. That coaches from other teams are trying to help other coaches beat another team with game planning and telling them, what they should be doing and to try to beat another team is, I don't think that is one legal for that to be transpiring and happening. Now, Matt Rule, who's the head coach of Nebraska, like I told you, I know the defensive coordinator. So I'm going to contact him later on. I just think right now it's a little too early to be reaching out or calling the university. So we'll try to pursue that later. I'll ask. It's not like he's probably going to give me that information. But let me see. Yep, Tony White. Yep, I still got Tony's phone number in here. So I'll definitely give Tony a call later on today and see if I can get something out of him. But, what are you going to do? Tell on himself? Like, oh, yeah, we contact them. Oh, man, people are sending messages. Most of it was about, like, I got sent one about Prime, and I got sent another one about, like, the football game. But yeah, there's definitely a plot against Deion Sanders, but there is some other people like Dan Lanning His, I might have been a little too excited in doing that. They're playing for clicks. We're playing for wins. Like, it's good to motivate your team, but you were playing for clicks too. That's why he's at the halftime speech giving that, y'all stay tuned. He's loving this because he's using that as the attention grabbing, headlines. Oregon would have never gotten this much attention. Okay, they're going to go to a bowl game. They're a top 5 team, definitely. But they're not, Colorado, they're not a national championship team yet. This is just the beginning stages of what they're going to build to. But the reason why these coaches are mad because they know what's coming next. They know what Prime is going to get. Because they got the transfer portal. Colorado's going to be dangerous for the next 3, 4, 5 years because of the media coverage. All these kids are going to be influenced to go to Colorado State and play with Coach Prime. They're like, I want to go to Coach Prime. They got the best NIL deals. They got 60 Minutes. They got CBS. They got Fox. They got ESPN. They got BET. They got SportsCenter. They got The Rock. They got everybody there. I can't wait to see this. I want to be on TV, baby. It's about my brand. So that's a problem. Then you got other people who are detractors that showed up. And of course, they have, the subtlety of a shotgun blast. The way they come in and start making decisions or, just basic biasness on their
Dan
own.
Cannell of CBS Sports.
Yeah, there he is. Dan Cannell. That's his name. He's now working at CBS. Dan Cannell has been one of the biggest detractors of Deion Sanders. And he has had nothing but disdain for Deion. And never said anything positive about him ever when it came to coaching. Took up for Dan Lanning right away. Anytime any coach says something about Deion, they're automatically right. If Dan Lanning's approach to pump up his team was okay, he invited the camera crew to record it so he could put it out. They didn't do none of his other speeches, but for this one, yeah. He invited them to come hear his speech before the game, which they didn't air until it was a blowout. You probably wouldn't have heard it if the score wasn't out of control. But Robert Griffin III, and him were having a discussion about it, and he says there's nothing wrong with this man loving his program. Coach Prime's doing the same thing as Dan Lanning. He's motivating his team, and why does he got to receive hate for doing that? Then Danny Cannell comes in. Simple. People were just exhausted with the over-the-top coverage of Deion. Every pregame speech is aired all day on every ESPN show on loop. Overhyping average wins. That's it. That's the reason. So, beating a TCU team that just played in a national championship game for your first game of the season. And they were ranked number 17th in the nation going into this season. Colorado was 1-11 when he took over the team. So he's starting with a whole new team of players. Then he sells out the spring game, which was more than the last 9 spring games combined. sold out the season tickets for the first time in 27 years, then knocked off TCU, like I said, in the first week. It went 3-0, right? Beat Colorado State, which they've struggled against State, and beat Nebraska, with a good Nebraska team. And they lose to Oregon, who they were supposed to lose to, a very good Oregon team. And instead of giving Oregon all the credit, it's used to bash Coach Prime. So you're just making Coach Prime more bigger. You see, a lot of people don't realize what the true problem is. And they played on Monday Night Football and prime time, and Deion put on a show. Cowboys was whooping them. The Cowboys, the Giants only had like 7. Prime took a kickoff, turned it around, and went to the house, right? But it was sealed yard line all the way into the end zone. And when he did that and high stepped it on you all the way to the end zone, you have been mad at Deion Sanders ever since, and you've had it out for him. Every time you talk about him, it's always in a negative comment. Now, here's the thing. They love to play the race card here and say, oh, well, we know we can't say anything or they're going to use the race card. Colorado is white. Okay, there is no whiter state in the world than Colorado. Okay, look in them damn stands. Okay, you acting like it's all brothers in there. Like all the brothers is there. Yeah, all black folks up in there. If you looked in their stands in Colorado, they're white. White. So you can't play the right race card that you guys are trying to play. You're trying to play like, oh, it's all the black folks that showed up now, and there you go. It's all going downhill now. We was 1-11, but it's all going downhill. You weren't just 1-11. Colorado was terrible for the last 10 years, for the last decade. They have been terrible. Now they're actually being seen, and they're the number 1 most watched school in the world. Do you think Deion Sanders' contract is stupid now? Do you think they overpaid for Prime? Do you think, they got money that they can't guarantee? How are they going to get the money? They're paying him with promises. They ain't going to be able to pay him. What happens when at the end Deion ain't going to get his money? Do you think the university ain't getting their money now? This is why they brought him here. He's brought so much revenue to the school, the university, everywhere. He's a lightning rod, and none of you can do that. You don't have it. It's not in you. And that's not Deion's fault. Deion was special. He's one of those rare special players who was special in college, special in the pros, won at every level. And whatever he touched, he's got like that magnetism. People follow him, no matter what color they are. They're tuned in to watch Colorado football. And yes, they're white. The majority of them that are watching are white. So you can't make it a race issue. You're using the race bait to try to get people to buy in to your nonsense. We've seen it happen. We know what went down. Oregon didn't need any scouting from these other coaches to beat Colorado. Those guys won with their talent on the field. Yes, they were game plan and they were ready for certain things, but that's no excuse of, your receivers couldn't get separation. They were covered. Oregon has the personnel. They have very fast cornerbacks. They have tall, lanky wide receivers, guys that can get open, and they're very, athletic and aggressive offensively. They didn't need any help. The best team won, and that's that. They're the better team right now. They're better than Colorado. They could play Colorado next week, the week after that, the week after that, and Colorado will probably still never beat them. Not this team. They were beat at every facet of the game. So, yes, everybody's rooting for this coach to beat Colorado because they want the hype train to stop. But is Deion Sanders calling ESPN to come interview him? No. Is Fox Sports, did he call any of these people and say, hey, come interview me? No, they're flying down there because they know anybody get any footage of Coach Prime. He is the lightning rod. Everybody wants to hear what he has to say. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen next. He is definitely taking over college football. Remember when he was at Jackson? Oh, that's Jackson State. Nobody cares about Jackson State. What's Jackson State? Nobody in the real, that's not real football. The SWAC. Yeah, okay. Nobody cares. They ain't playing nobody in the SWAC. Okay, so he brought some of his players from Jackson State to Colorado, and they proved that they could play here too. So now what? Colorado's look, Colorado is a better team than they were last year. They're a good team, and they're going to win more than 3 games. They're not done winning games. Are they a national championship team yet? No. But this is the building block to something special. Just wait till this season's not even over yet, but wait till next season. It's going to get even more insane. They're just getting started, people. Just getting started. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody knows Danny Cannell at CBS, and just like all the other detractors want to make it look as like Deion doesn't know what he's doing. Um, Cannell was terrible at Florida State. He was another basic quarterback who was getting by on the defense. Defense of Florida State was carrying the teams back then, and Danny Cannell just was one of the guys who was benefiting because he was the quarterback. Got to the NFL, and you know, let's just say it didn't quite go well. He wants to have this rift because it's good for him. All these guys here, their whole attitude is to attack Coach Prime, and they're just like YouTubers. They want attention. They're in it for hits and views, just like anybody else. That the kids have had enough of Danny Cannell, persistently coming through, trying to diss him. Well, here's the thing. They Cannell hated him. Well, the thing is that Sanders is like a god at Florida State. Deion is the man. They both went to state, but Deion noted that he graduated from an HBCU and he wouldn't be called a no, which, Danny Cannell said that ain't it. So now he was saying if you're supposed to win by 24 points in a game, and you barely win, should you storm the field? He's finding any way to try to talk about Deion because he's inept in his own life. He's angry that Deion's got all this success. He's like at Florida State, they still talk about Deion. Like Prime is the guy. And he hates it. So he's gonna use this I wanna battle Deion thing. And we're gonna go back and forth. Deion, you're not on his level. And that's what all these dudes are trying to do. You got what's his name? The big fat roly poly dude, the one that lost 300 pounds. Oh shit, lie. Yeah, he over there every day. Coach Prime videos, Coach Prime videos, Coach Prime videos, because he knows that's Coach Prime is a lightning rod. And they was like, we're getting mad because these guys aren't going anywhere. Matt Rule's another guy didn't like him. I just hate this hype. Why are we hyping up a team that ain't going nowhere? Why are you concerned? I'm sorry. Did anybody say Nebraska was going anywhere? Huh? Where y'all going? Colorado State. Where y'all going? Y'all going home. That's it. Y'all are going home. Can y'all win a game? That's what it's going to come down to. Can Colorado State win a game? Y'all want to talk about Coach Prime? Can y'all win a game? Coach Prime already did what he needed to do already. All season long. Tickets are sold. National television. Primetime games. They got them. Networks are fighting over who finna get Prime. He broke the record for most views ever of a college football game. ESPN broke a record with Colorado State in Colorado. Who in the hell would watch that and make that the number one most watched game in the world? White people. So you can't play the race card and say, hey, it's just because he's a brother. Nope. Blacks was watching it and mostly whites. Yep. Can't play that card. Throw that out the deck. Oh, yeah, they know. They know all about it. Oh, come on. All these guys who call themselves experts are mad because they know what's coming. They're going to be up to their neck in Deion. And they hate it. They had no problem with anybody else who won. Now it's got to be, oh, they got to be going somewhere. Where they got to go? Where they got to go? That's what I want to know. They got to be going somewhere? Where? That's what I want to know. Where do they have to go? The team got to be going somewhere. Colorado ain't going somewhere. They might get in a bowl game. You don't know. Sky's the limit. They had already surpassed everybody's expectations going into the season, except their own. They not hanging on the Oregon State loss. They thinking about we game planning for USC. So why can't any other team be treated the same? It's a problem when Coach Prime does it. It echoes a biasness. You hate it because he's unapologetic. He does it his way. Now, if he sound like any of these old bootlicking men, like I want to thank this guy for getting me here, and that's the way I want to keep it. And if he was all apologetic and apologizing and simple and soft spoken, but Prime is about joy. You never heard about him in any fights, no gangs, nothing. All he did was uplift the kids and did everything right. Smiled, positive. And what's the problem with that? I have no idea. They got to be going somewhere. That's the new thing. Well, the team ain't going nowhere. There have been a lot of teams in college that were bad. Okay. That they talked about a lot. Promoted, probably not as much as Coach Prime because of the internet and the days have changed. But damn it, if they didn't promote LSU, and LSU wasn't really going anywhere, but they got a lot of publicity. A lot of the years of Bobby Bowden. They wasn't going anywhere that year, but they got talked about a lot. Bobby Bowden. Team was bad, but they got a lot of hype. They were number one going into the year. So there's been a lot of hype around teams that weren't going anywhere. How many times you heard, oh, they're the number one ranked team and they finna go somewhere? Saw a lot of Tennessee teams go down. Had a lot of hype, but they weren't going anywhere. They had a superstar named Peyton Manning. They got a lot of attention from having superstar players, but they didn't go anywhere. Who they talked about? I remember they were promoting. Who was that guy? Eric Dungy, the quarterback from Syracuse. Remember him? Oh, he got a lot of attention. And Kansas, man. Kansas is this linebacker Joe D. Deneen. He's gonna be the guy. He's gonna turn things around. Arr. Remember that? Or now check this out. Remember Denzel Mims from Baylor? They had like one win. A lot of these teams were getting attention because they have star players, right? But those things change when the university is getting attention, like people think they're going to win. So people are focused on a team that's supposed to be good and look like they can go all the way before they start having the playoffs. You had Washington State and whatever they had to share the national championship with somebody. I forgot who it was. You had two teams and they never really played each other. And they always wanted to know who would win. And I think they got together and played a game or something. And then people said, you know what, this is ridiculous. We should just have a championship. Well, that has expanded the play of college football and the attention of college football. It's gotten people to where they're supposed to be, where they should be. So, all the way around the board. Don't forget to hit the like button too, y'all. I'm probably didn't tell y'all to subscribe, and the Patreon is on fire. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and a big surprise coming up for everybody on there. We've already hit people up with surprises already. We just got a little more to hit them with. So I like to keep delivering, like I said I was gonna do. But Coach Prime, you know, being completely hated on, and a lot of these reporters are watching it and they can't really believe the center of this hate, because you can't throw a race issue into it, and and basically try to blame Prime for doing anything, because it's a mixture of black and white players out there. But those fans and the people that come in there, they're all ran by white people. If they didn't want to come to the games, then they wouldn't come to the games. If you're tired of seeing it, then tell ESPN that you're tired of seeing it. And ESPN's going to show you the public ain't tired of seeing it. When they get tired of seeing it, they won't show up. You know, I'm tired of loving hip hop, but they got enough stupid people to watch it. So it keeps coming back with a new season. And this is how Mona Scott stays having a job. But as long as stupid people keep paying, they're gonna keep making it. So if you got a problem, your problem ain't with Coach Prime. The problem is with yourself. And I believe a lot of it is just your inner hate, because Prime was just better than you. And you was just hating that you were in the shadow of somebody greater. It's all right, Danny. Happens to the best of them. And all these other coaches who mad at Deion, y'all should be thanking him and kissing his feet. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know about Matt Rule. We wouldn't know about Norvell. Y'all wouldn't have gotten any attention if it wasn't for Coach Prime. So what all y'all need to do is kiss his boot and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Because our university is getting a lot of media attention just to play y'all, and now we're gonna create this "we gotta beat Colorado" thing. Y'all should be thanking that man. He made all of y'all relevant. Oregon, nobody saw what y'all were doing. Y'all had a good team with no press for years. You should be thanking Prime for all of it. No one will be talking about you at all. Danny Lanning would not be spoken about at all after a victory more than one day. if if that. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I want to say shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. I want to say shouts out to Ticket TV. Ticket's been on a tear, man. This whole month, Ticket has really been on fire. Armando Black TV. Welcome to HD with the two eyes TV. I want to say Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, his channel. My other channel, One Crack News. Definitely go over there if you want to hear about what's going on with news, politics, migrants, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We talking about that over there too. So on that note, I am out.